Hello again. This is Joseph Andrew Jensen, Reverend Joseph Andrew Jensen Senior. Now, I made it's only 2 hours later, and this just kind of continued another thought. I was on there for the hour and 30, but almost an hour and a half. So um, this one won't be as long, but it's important. It's kind of like saying the summary of what I just told you. Realize what I'm going to tell you. God's coming like a thief in the night. I went to one church, uh, New Springs Church in Anderson, South Carolina, to get donations uh, to basically go see the Ayatollah, to make the deal with Iran, the same deal that I'm doing in the United States now. Had this been Iran, it would have been just as fast as it's going to be here in the United States. It's going to happen in the United States because it's almost a way of blackmailing people. Because God's coin, once you get God's coin, it's good for 20 years. And so this world has, in the next 20 years, is going to turn into heaven on earth. Just so that everybody has more money than they can spend. Everybody's serving and is helping as a student, and they're just doing their time, enjoying their time. They're only working a 4-hour workday. Uh, Maternity leaves. We didn't have to talk about that. Is in the maternity leaves that uh, after a person's working me there in the service, they're going to have a year off with unlimited funds because I'm going to give them, you know, a God's. There's the regular salary, which was uh, a God's coin every week, so they never are going to be without money. The family can be off too. You know, it's just take time off. Request it or stay. Just don't go to work. Well, she's pregnant. She'll be treated like gold while she's pregnant. What woman won't have a child if she's paid unlimited funds and can do anything she wants and she doesn't have to work and she just stay home and spend money and just enjoy it and make sure the baby's fed? The world's going to have free health care anyway. It's going to free health care, free everything. Even if you wanted a haircut, it's probably going to be free. Why? Because the employer, I mean, he's in business to be in business, but he wouldn't be in business unless he loved his business anyway. So the money's not as important as what he's doing. He loves what he's doing. And the ones that want to be working with him are future barbers, and they're not there for the money. They're there because they want to learn and they want to enjoy that kind of job. It, People have to work where they want to work and do what they want to do, and that's why this is like a voluntary service. Um, because I'll be paying God, but they have no obligation to wherever they're working. They can go wherever they want to go to work. But the bosses won't lose people and be empty without workers because they just send more people. I don't care if a person wants to be have a live-in nanny to take care of the kids. Live-in nannies were part of God's services. They take babysit the kids. Being a maid or being a cook or a chef or a landscaper or a gardener or a butler, everything. The jobs that never were done before. The banks are going to have people coming to the banks that would have never been a potential customers. A person that was homeless and a person that was on crack, cocaine and sleeping in the gutters, they're not going to they're not going to be doing crack anymore. They're going to be sleeping in the gutters for sure. They got all the money in the world to clean themselves up, and every reason to clean themselves up. Now this doomsday pill or whatever the pill that you're going to kill and sleep, How many people will want to die if you inherit? If all of a sudden you're a millionaire? No, nobody's want that deal. Nobody in the United States, nor in any other country. Because now you've seen how fast the United States would have fallen. That'd have been how fast Iran would have uh, got been had they been the one to develop the Palestinians. That's who. That's who's going to be doing Jordan. Is Bill Gates, the one that wanted the doomsday mess. Well, he's going to clean that mess up by taking his 186 billion, 60 something $billion, and he's going to put it directly into Jordan and Ar. The people on the Gaza Strip will get 100 Gaza spawn per child in that day. Every other Palestinians will get 2 God squads per family member. No, I take it back. It was the other way back. They're going to get 100 God squads per family member. The people on the Gaza Strip. Then person that's just the Palestinian. Maybe I said that right. It will get actually 10. The Palestinians will get 10. It's the people in Jordan will get 2. Only 2 God squads. But see, the value of Jordan is actually higher than the dollar. They're better off than the dollar. It's worth $1.50. The Jordan dinar, we have to pay $1.50 for 1 dinar. Of course, the prices are no different. It's no different because actually it's more expensive because water is cheaper because the bottle of water, the huge bottle of water, the big one, that's I don't know, it's pretty big, real big, is 1 dinar, $1.50. When it's a big bottle, huge, like almost like a 2 liter, and it's what people drink. You drink a lot of water. I'm drinking a lot of water here. That's why I made so many pit stops here. But now the reason I come back on and do this is a reality check because I'm doing a reality check. Maybe that's what I should have called this, but this reality check is this is going to work. This is it. It's it for the United States and Lord for me. I'm if it because of when it works, not if it works. When it works, I'll have a second income, and I'll be moving faster than fast as y'all will be in 3 months, 3 or 4 months. You're only 40 something days away from the elections, and everybody in the United States has that long to get everything you have. But even if you don't put everything you have, put enough. This is my second thought. When you put enough money, knowing that your God's supposed to be worth $50,000, so just to make sure that you have enough God's coin, you don't have to put everything you have. You can't expect to lose a lot of what you have. Because what you're going to do is you're going to. The second thought was make sure you're going to be a millionaire. Divide $50,000 into a million, and that's what you want your goal is going to be. You want to be a millionaire. If you want to be a millionaire, then you have at least that much money. Because on November the 16th, your $200,000 home is going to cost you 4 God's coins. It's paid off and you own it. It belongs to you. Your car, if you got a $50,000 car, it's paid off. You got a $20,000 car, it's certainly paid off. That is, you know what I'm saying? Then you're going to turn around and replace it. Get your brand new car. That's what I'll be doing next month. I'll buy my home back. I'll build my home back. If I was to be a millionaire, that's exactly what we're going to do. I get the contractors there and they can buy my home back, build my home back, and do everything I do to point a finger. I got plans to take the little town that I live in, Pamplico. God's given me the drawings and the papers and everything to buy the old closed down theater that they've been working on inside to make it turn into a gym, play basketball and everything like that, a civic center. But it's not going to go to be a civic center. You never guess what my drawings would have it to become a brewery and a place to see and turn the park that has the movies into uh, seeing old time pictures. My piano in my other house is waiting on me. If I do this, the piano in the other house, it's got to go off and be restored, and I don't care if it costs $20,000. I'd be willing to pay that because I love that old piano, that old upright piano. A man named Popcorn that was in the army during in Germany during World War II. He died, and he left us a piano. And the piano came from Germany and came from a castle in Germany, and it is one heavy thing. Beautiful, called the Stuttgart. I want that thing fully restored. It's a professional kind of piano. If you know anything about pianos or know they're professional pianos, you know that they're way heavier than other pianos because the steel plate that's in this piano is probably built in the 1800s or right at the turn of the century, somewhere in the early 1900s. But the steel plate is like a cast steel plate that has all those piano wires, right? And it's like 1 inch steel plate that's pretty close to 4 foot wide and 2 foot tall. Take a heck of a person to pick a piece of steel like that. And this thing's been precision honed and tuned and all the everything. The resonance, I guess they call it, the sound of this piano like that to fill an auditorium was made to fill an auditorium. That's the difference between a professional piano. You could hear them play in huge places above everything else and have the perfect pitch and perfect sound. My my grandson, but the other church, he's got a lot to learn. He doesn't even get along with me because his view on God is not the same as mine. God, this is not in favor of the people who are sitting here raising their hands saying we're saved, nobody else is, and there's somebody going to hell. They're going to hold on to that idea at least until they get to God's point. Nobody's going to hell. There's not going to be hell on earth. There's, the only place there is hell is what's looking out for you after you die. Because if you was a preacher and you preached everybody's going to hell, and you then go to then you die, you're going to go through hell. You're going to be living in hell. It'll be a constant battle between your families and anybody. You'll be alone because they're going to say you wasted your life instead. Oh, you're going to go through hell. That's what that means. It even says that in the Bible. It's not to be rocket science when it reads it into 139th Psalm. If I make my bed in hell, lo, God will be there. That's what I'm trying to. You got to understand. We're kind of like backwards brainwashed. Every country. Now, when you get God's point, what is God going to do? If it had gotten to Iran, it's controllable. Like I was telling you, people. Joe Biden is going to be in a whole lot of trouble if Donald Trump gets elected. But he's also going to be in trouble because with God's going and then because when he goes, he can say, "Go home. You're not involved with politics anymore. Get yourself home, sit down, and relax." What's it? With my investigators, private investigators, bounty hunters, anybody from all over except for the FBI, they're going to invest everybody in the CIA, everybody in the FBI, everybody, Joe Biden, everybody. Why they're not doing their jobs? Politicians are going to be on thin ice because everybody's a voter. They can vote them in or vote them out by their looks. You know, I don't like the looks of this guy because there's too many numbers. Everybody's a voter. If you got suspicions, boom, you're out of there. Take away the clearances where they can't do anything. We don't need a wall. People will be leaving this country to go back to their homelands because they had their homes. They love their homelands. Who would want to go back to the same culture they come from with millions of dollars? Who wants to come back to this one? The world's going to spread out. China, when I go to see China, I'm looking forward to seeing President Xi Jinping. I'm looking forward to seeing Kim Jong. I got a deal for them. I want nuclear reactors, small nuclear reactors that can air cooled reactors, small enough at your home that they be warm to the touch, but there's no it won't be radioactive to you, and it'll be cool enough that you can put your hand on it. It would only be warm, but it's producing enough electricity. I'm supposing that the reactor itself would be hardly no bigger than a suitcase for just a household. If you focus on a household, so every household have one. So you don't have any more wires going, telephone poles, and everything. You have a small nuclear reactor to give you 30 years of power for free. Why you don't even need solar panels? Your car is the same way. If they can build a small enough reactor for um, uh, a house, then they can build one smaller, that you can for your car. Because reactors normally are cooled because they produce so much electricity. They usually use a water solution, water and salt with bromides and stuff. Very corrosive stuff. And this was they're cooling the reactor, they're keeping it cool, and they put the bromides in there to cool the water down. It's just weird that these elements, why we haven't figured it out, that instead of stockpiling waste, we're not figuring out what to do with the waste. We're not figuring out how to use the waste. We're trying to contain that waste and keep it where we're making it harder to get to. When it's still useful. It's like every battery still has some power. All you got to do is got to finish draining it down where it's a harmless. Madame Curie, she's the one who discovered radiation. That's why the guy got addicted to it. When she discovered this woman, it was one that she's smart enough to figure out it's radiation. That she wasn't smart enough to figure out how to control it. It's waste, and use every bit of it. Telling people this is dangerous, but it's useful. It's a wonder that the nuclear people that invented the reactors and invented everything after her, she found out it was, she's smart enough to figure out it's dangerous. Okay, that it'll hurt you. But in smaller doses, we get radiation from the sun. It doesn't really hurt us. We get burnt by the sun's rays, but it's true. There's a difference in rays and things. But anyway, you get off all this stuff. There's so many things that can be done. Hovercraft. replacing the roads because my God's people is the ones going to be doing the road work. Have brand new roads. Everybody's got brand new cars. Police and military vehicles, I think, will turn into hovercraft. You know, hovercraft can go over the water just as easy as they can go over the ground. It's kind of weird. Be cool. You notice the feeling of being around the Jetsons. Now let's get back to my head is dreaming, but that's how God talks to us. He's the one that's involved in dream. He lives to dream. He's always talking to me. Even when he took a break, you see, I had to come back on because the more thoughts God hasn't stopped. He's speeding up. The more you go to dreaming, and that's how God talks to you. By in your thoughts and your dreams and your urges, sort of thing. Whatever you want to do, they build your desires. Your family is doing the same thing. They're coaching you on. They're cheering you on. They're waking you up to get started. They're kissing you goodnight when they're asleep. I mean, you, you don't know that they're there because they're they're not spirits either. They're physically in your DNA. You know, in their own way because they're living in you. Don't you see what I'm saying? They're living in your children. You can understand how it's like they care about you. They care. Does electricity care about anything? Does gasoline care about anything? Does fire care anything about anything? Gas? No. Nothing else in this world that creates power has anything. What I was telling people in the other broadcast of one of my writings is E equals MC squared. Interestingly enough, when I said that I spoke in tongues, God would say, Beings out. He said this for 20 years to me. Kaputai, kaputi, sila kaputi, kaputi, the shila kaputi. What is he saying? I figured it out. Kaputa means my name is Ai, God. Kaputa means I am Ai. Same thing he told Moses on Mount Sinai. Who do I say you are? Kaputai. I am Ai. Now what is Ai? It's a different. Ai is the opposite of the opposites of A and I, or internal energy. Ai. That's the name God told he was. When he says Shila Kapote, he's saying, listen, come on, listen. Listen, my name is God. I am God. Listen, I am God. So when every time God, for the last 20 years, started anything, and he thinks, he says, Kapote, Kapote, Shila Kapote. Now, usually the Shila used to come when he's mad. I was only to say pissed off, but I just said it. You know what I'm saying? So when God gets mad, he says Sheila, like he'd holler, Sheila, Sheila Kapote, Sheila Kapote, like listen, I am God. Like shut your mouth, I am God. I'm talking. Respect me. What we had to do is recognize God. Are the people stupid in this world that they had to push the buttons and pull the levers for themselves, and they pulled them hard enough, so hard and things that they broke. Uh, 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 what I'm saying is they broke it. In other words, say for instance, anytime they make something irritable, so irritable to man, it's like you're urging them to stop. The people that just made, uh, say for instance, blockchain, or this two-factor verification people. or these phone soliciting people call your home. It's just so aggravating, so much aggravation that we're not going to miss them. We're going to say, good riddance. Get rid of these people. Did IRS have to be so daggum? They're going to pay my taxes. Dad, I got the, 2,000 to pay for one year and another year that I filed and I couldn't get that straight because I haven't had the money time or anything to get involved with the IRS. But they keep on billing me. I said, why didn't they take it out when they, if they had a 2019, and why didn't they take my assets then? I was working back there. You see what I'm saying? Why did they take it out there? Not to mention, because I didn't do my taxes right. I didn't get those. How do you say those? Whatever they give me out for the COVID things, stimulus checks or whatever. I didn't get those stimulus checks, and they had a time. Why would they put a timing on something like that? You got so long to get it. It's like, okay, our troubles are past, but yours is just start. That's just what we don't need any kind of stuff. That the IRS has broke the backs of too many people, and it won't happen no more. I'm paying everybody. I'm the one that's going to fix the roads. I'm the one that's going to pay everybody the labor to do it. You know what? How gas is going to happen at the pumps? Made me think of this. Another thing I was thinking about. You'll be able to go get whatever car you want. There's not going to be any more car insurance. Hey, nobody's going to have that car insurance. You know why? Because the car insurance is going to be paid for at the pump. To go for that tank full, it's going to be insuring you to go. What if your car can go 350 miles? You're going to be you're insured for that 350 miles. Then you got to go get gas and you'll get covered by the same people or other people or somebody else. But it's going to be fair. It's going to be fair, like the people that smoke cigarettes and they smoked it out of and killed you at your they smoked and it made us clean up their cigarette butts and throw it into their ashtrays and put it with the stench of the cigarettes and them. No more of this stuff. We can't do this again the same way. Now you got to know who's in charge and who always be in charge. God's living in secret. It belongs to God. When I die, it still belongs to God. You know why? Because it's going to go back to every voter. It's because everything's equally divided. There's nobody in power. It's a system that runs. And God's the owner. He's the creator. I'm the one that's have to do the paperwork as CEO, the founder. But God's the author of this. He's the publisher. I'm just the publisher of my God's thoughts. He wrote the book. I'm just publishing what God wrote or said. These thoughts are deep thoughts that are just coming to me now talking because this God doesn't want to stop talking. He's having a good time. He's telling me that next month I'm going to be as happy as you are in November. Because you'll be in the same place next month. When the money starts rolling in on my website, the first $1,000 is going to be nothing to what's going to happen back to back to back to back. Thousands and thousands of dollars of this rolling in like water, like a flooding ship going down. So the money's going to just roll through that website. I don't need my website. It's going to have trouble trying to keep up. Bank of America, my bank, that is behind wherever the transaction's going. They're not going to be. I mean, they'll be able to keep up. I hope they really have no choice because it's all numbers, all computer analytics. Those those computers and those numbers that are there, those computers will be overheating. They're going to bring fans in to cool them off. When you say everybody in the United States, 240 million, are going to be taking at least $1,000 of their own money to get 1,000 God's coins. 1,000 God's coins times 50,000. That's all you need. Your goal is to get 1,000 God's coins. Realizing that when you're what you don't have, in the value of what you don't have in dollars is left in dollars. Get it out of the paper money. Get it out of the printed money. Then you better have it gold, platinum, something else. Don't have it in Bitcoin either because every currency is going to fall. Gold's going to go down too, but at least it's not going to go all the way down. I'll be the one buying in most of the gold. Why would I do that? Because I'll start minting the gold, God's coin. Every coin in the world will be gold and it'll be silver. This is some other things God's got me thinking about. I'm only there to make everybody get endless amount of money. So what it means, you're going to go out there and pick out the cars until there's going to be no cars on the lots to buy. Every car is going to be taken. You won't have to have car insurance, and if you did take the car insurance, you'll easily be able to afford it. You don't have to pay a light bill, but you could certainly pay for solar. Somebody come there and come. My phone, it'll be paid for next month. I just got it, and altogether is a $1,500 phone. Between between the Beats stereo headset, wireless headset. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Doing high bills and supposed to have 3 years to pay it off. Guess what? It'll be paid off in 5 minutes. My ex-wife, she's divorced me because she still wants she wants less than 30,000 back from me. But it started out it was way less than that because it keeps on growing. Now she probably wants 40,000 too, and I don't blame her because I didn't. Because I had my houses and she had hers. I never gave her money for hers because she said she wouldn't take it. I had my own houses. She wouldn't. She didn't want to live in my houses. She didn't want to be associated with my family. So didn't have any. We couldn't have. She never could have kids, but she was a school teacher. But our relationship was different. I still love her. I still love her immensely. But I've lied to her so many times, and that's kind of what I do. I am a compulsive liar. What's it mean by I'm a compulsive liar? Because when I get my life hopes up, I try to build everybody else's hopes up. I'm an optimist. I don't perceive the worst. I'm not a doomsday person. I'm the opposite. I try to figure my way out of things. And when I tell everybody I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, but guess what? I get the rug pulled, but not this time. I'm sure about that. Not this time. Is there a chance that it could happen? We'll see. We'll see. If we're going to find any flaws in this, we're going to find them out next month. Up until now, it's because I haven't been recognized. Not enough people even know who I am. I haven't even ever sold a book. It's been published since 2012, my first book. I've had movie companies and everybody else asking if they can make a movie of it, just for me to make a trailer. I've got 5 stars on it. Everything I have, I have no thing, but I need people. They need to be recognized. Well, I think I will get recognized after in August. And if I get the recognition, because what God's doing, like I said, you're gonna feel the same way I feel 2 months from now, less than 2 months away. Well, no, it's 140 days. It was not 40 days. You get about 140 days away from November. When you reach that, but you're going to be on the same high. When all of a sudden, boom, you got $50,000 per God's coin. Well, you could be, because if you got everything you got in God's coin, I want Bill Gates to have 168 billion God's coins. I want uh, Jeff Bezos to have that 2 billion. Why wouldn't I? That means he can do that much more, that much faster, without worrying about it. He just gets that much busier. He's gonna put ants on roller skates, man. He's gonna speed up things. Whatever. It's amazing what you can think of because that's the way God talks to you in your dreams, in your thoughts, in your hopes, and your desires. God's the optimist. You just realize, my God, that my wife is the opposite. She's not really a pessimist. She wants to call her a realist. But you know what a realist is? A person that sits in the car and does nothing. They don't drive the car. Because in reality, it costs money to drive a car. It takes risk to drive a car. But do I need to go anywhere or at all? People do that with the Harley Davidsons and put them up for 9 months. They use it for a couple months to go to Sturgis or something like that. People do that with the custom cars. They have them in the garages. They do them with their RVs. They got their campers and trailers and things like that. They park them and they only use them for certain. Some people don't even. Sometimes a whole year go by and they haven't used it at all. Like a person that has a set of skis that never goes to skiing anymore. But they're still paying for it. They're still paying in South Carolina. You still pay the car insurance. Have to be on it just like you're driving it every day. It can be broken down. How many people have cars that are broken down or junk? As long as they got tags on it. So you're gonna have it unless you take tags off in South Carolina. It's illegal. You have to. They'll let you. It doesn't mean they have to catch you. They know when you don't have coverage on the car. Okay, I gotta go. That's just a short message. But those are the second thoughts of God. He's slowing it down now, and so that's what I'm going to sleep. This is an important video because it's showing you first, adding to some of the most important parts and how God talks to you. It's in your hopes and your dreams and desires. And as this next month goes away, it will just I'll be the richest man in the world. Overnight. What did God say? And this broadcast is called the Thief in the Night. God's coming like the thief in the night. Is that not true? this is not a shock to everybody in the United States that these gods come like a thief at night to rapture us. Does that sound like right? To save us. Who's he saving us from? Those Freemasons, Illuminati, Rothschilds, Bill Gates, keeping us from taking it for wanting to take that pill and die in our sleep. Well, now you're going to have free health care, you can have nurses, and you can have a nanny, and you can have daycare workers, everybody for free, because they're on my payroll. And they're there to learn. And everybody's even going back to kindergarten to learn for the first time or relearn what they forget God and to get up with whatever's modern times plus learn new languages. And they'll do that for the next 16 years. You know, if you want to be a doctor, you're going to be all the way up. Doctors spend 16 years of their life in school, 6 years past high school. They have to do, part of it, the last residencies and stuff, but this is what the whole thing's all about. God's come like a thief in the night. He's coming to you, what I gotta get here, I gotta get you more of these clothes, these things I like to wear. This is my new identity. The way I look. The reason I got this beard and don't shave it off is because when I was in Africa, what I ended up is I, at a center for autistic kids with Down syndrome, kids with cerebral palsy, kids with twisted limbs, club feet, maybe, crooked hands, beautiful children, taken care of by the Catholic nuns. I was born a Catholic. What I'm saying is how does a person just end up going to Africa and end up in a place like that? And then they want me to go. The first thing the kids want to steal was my beard. They're pulling my beard and they playing the beard. They love it because I'm Perry Noel, Santa Claus. They call Perry Noel. Perry means father. Noel means Christmas. Noel is the day, Christmas Day. And so Perry Noel means father Christmas. But I still look exactly like Santa Claus. There. He wears the red coat, he wears the red hat, and he wears that. So I had to get a thing. But that's why I don't shave. And for another reason, I just got through talking to Muslims. I am in line with being a Bedouin because I going to live a nomadic lifestyle. I got to go to every country. I'll go to every month. I'll be going to another country. I don't know where I'm going after August, but it will be another country. You understand what I'm saying? This month, I'll be starting in Sacramento. I want to go see Joel Osteen again in Houston, and this time have a talk with him about our beliefs. He's got to be the first one to understand what this thing about salvation and all being an antichrist. Somebody's got to finally start doing some studying behind it. And somebody like him, with 445,000 people, I was telling him, first thing God did was just not your hands and feet and mouth, but right now, just a thumbs up. If I had 45,000 people giving a thumbs up, at one time it seemed to be no difference than when I mean in California has got 240 million people to do the same thing. Do you think the world's not going to catch on that day? I'm asking. What do you need out of me? First, start go to your computer, give me a thumbs up. I'll be the first person in the world on the website that reaches over a billion thumbs up. Off the charts, thumbs up. Like I said, be the richest man in the world. What do I care for? I care because I need you to care. I need everybody to become. When you get God's going, you become the hands and feet and mouth of God. From that day on, you're going to really realize that God is living in you and He is alive in you. Your family, you're going to start listening to your family. You're going to start going to Petra and places like that. Taking them with you. Taking them on vacation. Going one day, ask you to go. Seeing who they. Do you realize how many people don't realize that every time you feel you got deja vu or wants to talk to them, those are just people who inside you trying to reminisce or meet the friends that they recognize. Please go back, turn around, check out. I know this guy. You understand? Those are the things that we never had understood. William Shatner's going to have a whole nother outlook on life. Same as um, Gates. That guy's on expedition unknown and expedition thing. Josh Gates is going to, I got to go see the Holy of Holies for a whole different reason than looking for the Ark of the Covenant. I got to find out why they haven't told. I'm going to ask them about Muhammad. Muhammad was with them for 2 years. Proof of the matter is, it's written in the Quran. How did they learn about Christianity in the Bible? They have over 40 Christian and Jewish prophets listed in their Quran. Where did he learn about those things? He learned about it because he was a Christian. Muhammad was a Christian. He was a Jew. He listened to them and he learned the stories from them. He had to do it sometime in his life. They got the writings, so why aren't they talking? Somebody said the stuff that people that should have been brought out many years ago. Saddam Hussein's dead, but Saddam Hussein, I got a picture when I was in thing that I saved, but Saddam Hussein was a great man. You know what he was? Saddam Hussein was also a high priest. He could speak the language of Noah. All Iraqis are the direct descendants of Noah. He was about to tell the Iraqis the truth because even when I was working with Iraqis, I had to tell them the stories. They didn't even know the simple Bible stories of even Nebuchadnezzar. And that was right there happening in Iraq. They didn't even know their own religion or their own stories. They didn't even know about their own great, their own, they didn't know what that's their great grandfather. But that's what Saddam Hussein was about to tell everybody before the CIA pointed the finger and said he had weapons of mass destruction and hunted them down like a dog, a wild dog. I died on the same base, so he had a Olympic-sized swimming pool with well, I guess it's a 15-meter high dive, or yeah, 15 or 30-meter high dive platforms that they dive from. His son was a swimmer, athlete, and then he had the track that hold almost I think it was about 3,000 people, 8-lane track, and the hurdles were all stacked in corner, professional hurdles that they used to jump. The billboard where people standing in the stadium overlooking the stadium had his portrait on there, but they had put Mickey Mouse ears on him and changed his mustache to be looking like a villain's mustache. Well, we made so many mistakes in this world, and pointing fingers at the wrong people. course, they did that to Jesus Christ too. They crucified Christ, and Sodom. I'm not saying Jesus, Sodom and Satan was, but he was not what people think he was. And neither was Gaddafi. They were forced into this issue. How do you know that? I know to know because people like Gaddafi, the women they tolerated every religion. Were in there. The women weren't walking around on roads. They could wear scarves. They could wear see-through uh, bells, scarves over their head, colors, beautiful colors. A woman could drive a car. She could go to the university and have free education throughout Libya. Libya, free education, free health care. They had what I'm talking about. This is on me. They were living heaven on earth there. That's what Gaddafi did. He's just too loud mouth and thing. He was a very rich man, and he treated the women, children, and everybody like gold in that country. Guess who else is doing the same thing in Syria? You see what I'm saying? In Syria, they want to take him, Bashar, Bashar, or whatever, Assad, and they want to kill him, assassinate him. He's a bad man. No, he's not. He's trying to model his country after Libya. The other country that was left out was Iraq itself, but Iraq couldn't do that. You know why Iraq couldn't do that? Because they're dealing too close with Islam. That's why Islam, the terrorists that come into Islam, who came to, they would poke their heads up. They told everybody, Islam says, keep your heads down and look at your feet and keep to the ground and don't be almost bowed before me if you're around anywhere around in a crowd. Don't look up. They thought it was cruel and that because he wanted that. No, because he's looking for the head that pops itself up and looks around. And that person he had shot. He had tortured. That's the one that was looking to have everybody else killed. That's how terrorists work. Terrorists can go to the United States with just a simple box cutter knife. Doesn't even have to be a big knife, a real knife. They can be a threat enough that that threaten to cut your throat, your family's throat. As soon as you get in the house, they get a bigger knife. But they can get they get into a house and they close the door and they for the next uh, whatever how many days they're there, they're going to torture, rape every woman in front of their husbands, kill all the babies first, kill the babies immediately. So they don't because they're kind in that way. They want to kill the babies so they don't have to watch the rest be tortured. Then they watch all the girls in the household be raped. Then they recruit the father and brothers and all the men. And then they get the man, he either joins the army or they set him to wear a bomb for them. They were telling me to do something like that, how to blow myself up. I said, no, I can do that. I think I can do that, but show me how first. That's the way I think. That's the way God talks to me. Show me how first. No, He's always like that. God's always like that. And we're not living life knowing God like that. You're missing out on life. It's not as serious as you think. God lives a drink of beer. And God asked him for the bacon. He said, hey, don't forget the bacon when I was in Cairo. And the guy's going down to the street to get me breakfast stuff. I like to make, potatoes, but I like to put the green peppers in there. They call spicy, and they can't take the heat. I take potatoes with onions, peppers, make the country potatoes cooked in olive oil, and then you cook the bacon. God, if I had cooked American breakfast in in Cairo, my God, those people they would go nuts. They couldn't stay away. They'd be eating the bacon. They get upset because they can't. They never. I mean, bacon's not like you. It smells great when it's bacon. How are they going to avoid something that looks that delicious and smells that good? They would go crazy if a person went there and just cooked breakfast in front of them. It's like some people can't. One guy, person could say he got sick every time he smelled Chinese cooking. So my daughter does too. They eat some of the spices. They can't stand it. My God, I don't know what they're missing. I mean, that's crazy. That's I love Chinese cooking. I like the smell of it. So anyway, I'll let you go. We're rambling about different things, but this is how God. You talk to God. This is how God talks to you. I'm trying to teach you this because this is what the world's going to be like. You're going to be talking to God, and God's going to be talking to you all the time. Give you a clue, God doesn't ever go to sleep. I mean, he just loves these wound up. But he has no other place to go. You, he's stuck with you. That's the thing. God's sort of like human beings. We don't know our neighbors. We don't know our friends unless we everybody. We go up to the store and they never know anything about the other people. The same God is no different. They don't communicate unless they have a reason to communicate. Start communicating now. They got good reason to communicate because they're most gods are fed up with humans. There's been a cold war going on. This explains it because we have been cold to God, so cold to God we don't recognize God. Give Him credit for anything. It's our will, not their, not God's will. We can do anything with everything they want. We never had free will. But you see what's going on? The war is going to end whether they want to get together or not, be with us or not. They're going to, because the people are all going to be so happy because what they're going to be doing is following their dreams. Following your dreams. You understand what this pastor saying? I hadn't used that one before, but he has to say, God, God and your family inside you is the one that gives you your dreams and your hopes and desires, and they're always with you, encouraging you on. And that's what I'm saying. You're going to be following those dreams. When you're following your dreams, you're going to pick out that car, build that house, talk to the architect. You're going to be able to afford the architects and the engineers to do it properly. They won't be having to meet good, stupid codes. I lost my house because of a staircase. Anyway, we'll talk about this later. I got to go to the bathroom again. So good night.